The arena floated in open space, held in place by light rings and silent engines. Two gray moons hung nearby like watchers that never blinked. Ships of many shapes surrounded the arena, their windows full of eyes. Millions watched from far systems through live feeds. This place was known as the balance field, where gravity was tuned so every fighter stood on equal ground. The rules were simple: no weapons, no outside help. Gravity adjusted to a shared level that matched neither world fully. The match today had been promoted for years. It was said to be fair in every way. The crowd believed it. A deep voice echoed through the arena, calm and cold. It announced the fighters and the rules once more. The words were slow so all species could understand. When the voice ended, a wide gate opened on the left side of the field. The first fighter stepped out. His name was Kor. He was tall, wide, and thick with muscle. His skin was dark and rough, marked by old scars. He came from a heavy world where gravity crushed the weak. On his home ground, a fall could break stone. He moved with confidence, each step firm and heavy. The crowd roared. Many had come to see him win again. Kor raised one arm and struck his chest once. The sound echoed. He did not smile. He did not need to. On the opposite side, a smaller gate opened. The second fighter walked out alone. His name was Aaron. He was human. He looked thin beside Kor, almost fragile. His clothes were simple and plain, no armor, no marks of rank. He walked with relaxed steps as if this was a quiet road and not a place where legends fell. The crowd reacted with noise and laughter. Some clicked their tongues. Others made sharp sounds of doubt. Humans were new to the balance field. They were known more for endurance than power. Many thought Aaron was here to lose. Aaron stopped at the center mark. He looked around slowly, taking in the wide floor, the floating lights, the distant stars. He breathed in and out. His face was calm. Then, without warning, he smiled. It was a small smile, easy, almost kind. Kor noticed it. His brow tightened. He had seen fear before. He had seen anger. He had seen pride. This was none of those. It bothered him. The signal light above the arena shifted from blue to white. Gravity settled. The field hummed softly as systems locked in place. Every sensor showed the same result. Balance achieved. The fight began. Kor moved first. He rushed forward with long, heavy strides. The floor trembled under his feet. He swung a wide arm, aiming to end the match in seconds. Many fights ended this way. Aaron stepped aside. The strike passed through empty air. Kor stumbled one step, surprised. He turned fast and swung again. Aaron leaned back just enough. The wind of the blow brushed his shirt. A low sound rolled through the crowd. Not cheers, not laughter, confusion. Kor growled and attacked again, faster now. Aaron moved with short steps, clean and simple. He did not jump high. He did not spin. He just stayed out of reach. Each move was small, careful, and exact. Officials watched from a control room high above. Data streamed across their screens. Gravity levels were steady. Force output was normal. Nothing was wrong. After several missed strikes, Kor paused. His chest rose and fell. He was not tired, but he was annoyed. He had never missed so many times in a row. He circled Aaron, eyes locked. Aaron circled too, hands loose at his sides. He did not rush. He did not chase. He waited. Kor charged again, this time lower, aiming to grab and crush. Aaron met him halfway. At the last moment, Aaron shifted his weight and placed a hand on Kor's arm. He twisted, using Kor's own force. Kor was thrown, not far, not hard, but enough. The heavy fighter hit the floor and rolled once before stopping. The sound was loud. The arena fell silent. Kor stared up at the ceiling lights. He had been thrown before, but never by someone so small. He rose quickly, anger flashing in his eyes. The crowd erupted, voices mixing in shock and excitement. Comment feeds lit up with fast messages. Humans watching from distant worlds leaned closer to their screens. Kor attacked again, this time with control. He tried to trap Aaron against the edge of the field. Aaron moved back step by step until his heel touched the boundary line. Core smiled now. He lunged. Aaron slipped. His foot slid on the smooth floor. He fell onto one knee, then both hands. For a heartbeat, the crowd thought it was over. Some shouted in triumph. Others looked away. Core raised his arm for the final blow. Aaron looked up. He was smiling again. Core hesitated, just for a moment. Something about that smile felt wrong. It was not panic. It was not a trick. It was calm understanding. Aaron pushed himself up and rolled aside as Core struck the floor. The impact cracked the surface. Chunks of stone floated for a second before dropping back down. Aaron stood and dusted his hands. He spoke, his voice low but clear. The field microphones caught every word. "So this is balanced gravity," he said. Core snarled and rushed again. Aaron met him head on. This time Aaron struck. His fist hit Core's side with a sharp sound. Core grunted and staggered. The hit was clean, simple, strong. Officials stared at the data. The force behind the punch was high but within human limits. Nothing broke the rules. Core shook his head and charged again. The two fighters exchanged blows. Core's strikes were heavy and wide. Aaron's were short and direct. Each time Core hit, Aaron bent and absorbed it. Each time Aaron hit, Core felt it deep. The crowd leaned forward. The match was not ending quickly. It was becoming something else. Aaron took a hard hit to the shoulder and slid back several steps. He fell again, this time onto his back. The lights above flickered as the floor absorbed the shock. Core stood over him, breathing hard. He raised his arms, ready to finish it. Aaron laughed. It was soft. Almost friendly. He rolled to his side and stood once more. He flexed his shoulder and looked at Core with open eyes. "This still feels light," Aaron said. The words spread through the arena like cold air. Commentators fell silent. Officials checked the gravity readouts again. Perfect balance. No error. Core hesitated again, fear creeping into his thoughts. He had trained his whole life under crushing force. He had learned to move despite pain. But this human was moving like the world itself was gentle. Core attacked with everything he had. He slammed, punched, and pushed. Aaron gave ground, then took it back. Each exchange made the gap clearer. Aaron was not slowing down. Core was. The signal light above shifted color, marking the midpoint of the match. This was when most fights ended. Today it marked something else. Sweat ran down Aaron's face. His breathing was steady. His smile faded, replaced by focus. He planted his feet and waited. Core rushed one final time. Aaron stepped forward, grabbed Core's arm, and twisted. The move was fast and clean. Core fell again, harder this time. The arena shook. Core did not rise at once. He lay on his side, stunned. Aaron stepped back, giving space. He did not press the attack. The crowd was silent, not because they were bored, but because they were afraid to speak. Aaron looked up at the lights and the stars beyond. He breathed in, then out. The smile returned, faint but clear. Far away, leaders and generals watched the feed and exchanged quiet looks. They had agreed to this match because it was fair. For the first time, they wondered if fairness was the mistake. The arena was quiet now, but only for a moment. Core rose slowly, eyes burning with anger and confusion. The human, Aaron, stood in the center of the field, calm, his small smile returning. He wiped dust from his shirt and looked around, as if seeing the arena for the first time. The crowd watched, unsure whether to cheer or gasp. They had expected a balanced fight, but what they were seeing was not balance at all. Core lunged forward again, faster this time. His muscles moved like coiled metal, ready to snap. He wanted to end the fight quickly, to show everyone that humans could not match him. But every strike he made, Aaron dodged with simple movements, as if he had expected them all. The human did not jump high, did not twist in the air, but he moved with perfect timing. Core struck the empty space, and the ground trembled from the missed blows. The officials in the control room stared at the screens. Gravity sensors showed nothing abnormal. Force levels were within limits. Kor was supposed to have the advantage, and yet he was losing control. Reports came in from other arenas across the galaxy. Data streams recorded what the officials already suspected. This human was not acting normal. Aaron felt the strikes come at him and let them pass by. He remembered the stories his ancestors told him about a planet where gravity shifted without warning. Children there learned to fall safely, to roll, to survive. Humans adapted over generations to survive even the harshest conditions. This was what he relied on now. Kor's next attack was different. He adjusted, swinging lower and faster. He tried to grab Aaron by the arm and crush him against the arena wall. The human met the attempt with a calm twist. Kor stumbled and hit the floor hard. Dust and small fragments floated for a moment before falling back. The crowd was frozen. No one had expected such a turn. Aaron spoke again, quietly, almost to himself. So much strength, yet such little control. Kor growled and rose again. His pride hurt more than his body. He had trained his entire life under crushing force. Every movement, every strike was measured for power and speed. And still, this human moved like he was dancing. Kor felt frustration rise like fire. He had never met a fighter like this. Aaron began to step forward, careful and steady. Each step seemed small, but it carried confidence. He was not trying to match Kor in strength. He was using control and timing. The human threw a punch. Kor felt it more than he expected. It was not heavy, but it hit a nerve, a place he could not defend fully. He faltered. The crowd was silent now, watching the shift. Many commentators whispered to each other. How could a human match a creature born in heavy gravity? And why did he smile at every moment of danger? It did not make sense. Kor attempted to push harder, using his weight to pin the human. The floor quaked under his footfalls. He slammed the ground with both fists, trying to break the rhythm. But Aaron anticipated each move. He shifted his body, absorbed the impact, and moved back with minimal effort. Every time Kor thought he had an opening, Aaron was gone. The tension grew. Ships above lowered observation pods to get a closer view. Millions watched, gripping their seats, leaning forward. The match was no longer just a sport. It had become a test of limits. Some whispered that humans were not dangerous for strength, but for something else entirely. Aaron felt a sharp blow to his shoulder, enough to stagger him. Pain shot through his arm and he blinked to regain focus. For a second, Kor thought he had the advantage. But Aaron smiled, faint and steady. It was a human smile, small but filled with understanding. The crowd felt it. Even those far away could sense the confidence in it. The alien fighter attacked again, using a move he thought would crush the human in one strike. Aaron rolled to the side and used the momentum to stand behind Kor. He placed a hand on Kor's back and pushed slightly. Kor stumbled forward, surprised by the simple yet effective technique. He had never felt a push like that from someone so small. Officials checked the readings again. Gravity balanced, force within limits, nothing illegal. Yet the human's movements were somehow faster, more precise. Every observer felt the shift. The balance they relied on was changing. Kor roared and lunged again. This time, he aimed a low sweep to knock Aaron off his feet. Aaron jumped over, landing softly and barely bending his knees. Kor struck the floor with a loud crash. Dust and sparks floated briefly. He shook his head, trying to understand what was happening. His own body felt heavier than it should. The human seemed lighter than any sensor could explain. Aaron kept moving, stepping back, then forward. He threw another quick punch, catching Kor on the side of his ribs. Kor grunted and shook. The strike was not enough to harm him seriously, but it was a warning. Every time Aaron touched him, it reminded Kor that he could not rely on his raw strength alone. The crowd began to cheer, then pause, then cheer again. Many had never seen humans fight at all. Some thought them weak. Now the human was standing tall, unharmed, smiling, and moving in a way no one could predict. Kor's pride burned brighter than his anger. He wanted to end the fight, to crush the human completely. But with every failed attack, his frustration grew and his movement slowed slightly. Aaron felt the strain of the fight, but he did not show it. Each movement, though small, took precision and timing. He remembered lessons from his youth, training on uneven ground, running in storms, lifting weights far beyond what others expected. Humans train not just to survive, but to adapt to any situation, and that adaptation was now on full display. Core tried to adjust, swinging with more force, using his weight to make every move decisive. He hit the ground hard, each step shaking the arena. Aaron absorbed it all, bending, rolling, stepping aside. The alien's attacks began to look slower, less controlled. The crowd sensed the shift. The fight that was supposed to be fair was now tilting. Aaron spoke quietly again. "Strength is easy. Control is everything." The words were soft, almost lost in the hum of the arena, yet every fighter and observer understood. Core froze for a moment, anger and confusion mixing. He had never met anyone who could take his blows and still smile. Core attacked one more time, using a sweep and grab combination meant to end the fight. Aaron stepped forward, caught the arm, and twisted, using Core's force against him. The alien fell, crashing to the floor with a loud echo. He lay there for a second, stunned, breathing heavily. Aaron stepped back and waited, calm and ready. The crowd exploded into sound. Some cheered, some shouted questions. Everyone watched in awe. The human was still standing, smiling. Core was on the ground, breathing hard, struggling to understand what had just happened. The officials again checked every system. Gravity balance, sensors, force outputs, all normal. Yet the human continued to move as if the universe itself had given him an advantage. He had no weapons, no armor, and yet he was changing the entire perception of the match. Core rose slowly, pride still burning, but now with respect. He circled Aaron, eyes scanning, searching for weakness. He attacked again, fast and furious. Aaron dodged, rolled, and struck, using minimal energy but maximum effect. Every movement was precise, controlled, and efficient. The audience realized this was more than a fight. It was a lesson. Strength alone did not guarantee victory. Balance did not ensure fairness. Experience, adaptation, and understanding could overcome even the strongest force. Aaron took a deep breath and looked around. His small smile returned. Core charged one final time, swinging with all his might. Aaron met him head-on, pushed, twisted, and sent Core stumbling again. The arena floor cracked slightly from the impact. The crowd leaned forward, unable to look away. The match was far from over, but the tone had changed. No longer was it simply a fight of strength versus strength. It was now a display of human resilience and understanding. The galaxy watching realized that humans were more than they seemed. They could endure, adapt, and even smile in the face of crushing power. The next moves would decide more than the winner. They would show whether raw force could ever match careful skill, patience, and the strange confidence that came with being human. Aaron's smile remained, calm and steady, as if he had already understood something the entire arena had not yet realized. And in that quiet moment, the story of this fight began to take shape, one that would be remembered across worlds for generations. Core shook his head, disbelief and anger mixing. He had fought many opponents, each stronger than the last, each faster and more clever. Yet none had moved like this human. Aaron stood in the center of the arena, calm, smiling faintly. His breathing was even and his posture relaxed. It was almost impossible to read him. Core could not understand how someone so small could move with such precision and timing against his raw power. The alien lunged forward, aiming a strike meant to crush the human in one blow. Aaron sidestepped, then twisted, catching Core's wrist. He used Core's momentum to send him stumbling sideways. The impact rattled the arena floor. Sensors recorded every force, every move, but the readings showed nothing extraordinary. The officials and spectators were baffled. The crowd leaned closer, silent in awe. Core's heavy footfalls shook the field, yet Aaron moved as if he weighed nothing. Every dodge, every counterattack was minimal but effective. He did not need strength. He needed control, timing, and patience, and he had them in abundance. Core roared, frustration boiling over. He swung with all his might, fists crashing down, attempting to end the fight. Aaron ducked, rolled, and stepped behind him. Then he struck, a clean hit to Core's side. The blow did not injure severely, but it was enough to make Core stagger. The human had chosen his timing perfectly. Aaron's mind worked as fast as his body. He remembered the training humans endured on their unstable world. Children fell, rolled, and got up again. Adults lifted objects heavier than their size. Life was unpredictable, harsh, and unforgiving. Humans adapted. They became flexible, resilient, and always ready. He applied this now, instinctively turning Core's strength against him. Core's next move was slower. He struck with brute force, swinging at the human again and again, trying to overwhelm him. But Aaron moved with economy. Each dodge, each step was measured. He did not waste energy. He did not overcommit. Core was beginning to tire, his movements losing their sharpness. The crowd could feel the change. Many commentators whispered, questioning everything they knew about strength and balance. Humans were not supposed to challenge creatures from heavy worlds. They were not supposed to survive even a few strikes from someone like Core. Yet Aaron was not just surviving, he was controlling the fight. Aaron spoke quietly, almost to himself. Strength without control is meaningless. Core's eyes narrowed. He did not understand. His mind searched for weakness in the human. He attacked again, using a low sweep followed by a grab, aiming to pin Aaron against the arena wall. Aaron anticipated, stepped forward, and twisted Core's arm. The alien fell hard, sliding across the floor before coming to a stop. He rose quickly, breathing heavily, but the frustration in his eyes was clear. Officials in the control room checked the systems again. Gravity was balanced. Force readings were normal. There was no trick, no cheat, no mechanical advantage. Yet the human moved as if he were lighter, faster, and more precise. The data did not explain what was happening. The audience sensed it too. Balance did not seem to apply to Aaron. The human had become something beyond measure. Core charged again, using a combination of strikes meant to overwhelm and break the human. Each blow shook the arena floor. Aaron dodged, absorbed, and countered. His movements were simple but perfect. Each strike he delivered was timed to exploit the smallest opening. Core stumbled more often now. He was strong, but raw power alone could not match the human's calculated skill. Aaron felt his own strain. Every move required focus, timing, and understanding of his opponent's force. But he had trained for this his whole life. Humans were not strong by nature. They survived and adapted. Their bodies were resilient, their minds quick, and their instincts sharp. The human advantage was not in muscle, but in years of experience surviving the impossible. Core tried to push harder, slamming the ground to create shockwaves, hoping to throw Aaron off balance. The human adjusted with ease, stepping lightly and avoiding the tremors. Core roared in disbelief, anger burning hotter than before. Every attack seemed to give the human more advantage. The crowd felt the shift in power. The match was no longer a contest of equal footing. It had become a spectacle of human resilience. Aaron moved forward, placing another precise strike against Core. The blow caught the alien off guard. He staggered and fell, hitting the floor with a heavy crash. The arena trembled. Dust and debris floated briefly before settling. Core rose again, shaking his head, trying to regain composure. But each movement now felt heavier, more awkward. The human smiled faintly, calm and confident. It was a smile that confused Core. It was not arrogance, fear, or anger. It was understanding. The human had studied him through the fight, learning his rhythm and using it against him. Core realized that raw power alone could not win. The human was something he had not anticipated. Kor's attacks became less aggressive. He swung with less control, misjudged distance, and stumbled more often. The audience watched in awe as the smaller fighter took command of the match. Each time Kor rose to attack, Aaron's calm smile and precise movements dominated. The balance everyone trusted was gone. The human had altered it simply by surviving and adapting. Aaron continued to move with precision. Every strike, dodge, and step was deliberate. He conserved energy, using minimal movement to gain maximum effect. Kor could not predict him. His own strength was now a disadvantage. Each heavy swing became an opportunity for Aaron to counter. The alien was learning fear and respect for a species he had considered weak. The crowd's excitement grew. They were witnessing more than a fight. They were seeing a human display control, intelligence, and resilience. The arena, the sensors, the gravity, none could measure what was happening. The audience realized that humans were dangerous not because of brute force, but because they were adaptable, intelligent, and capable of understanding and using any environment to their advantage. Kor lunged one last time with all his might. Aaron met him directly, using Kor's own momentum to twist him and throw him to the ground. The alien hit hard, sliding across the floor before coming to a halt. He struggled to rise, panting heavily, eyes wide with realization. Aaron stepped back, giving space. He was not aggressive but ready. The crowd erupted into noise. The silence that had followed each attack was replaced by cheers, gasps, and whispers. Commentators repeated in disbelief what they had just seen. The human had not just survived. He had dominated without strength, without weapons, and without cheating. He had used only skill, understanding, and human resilience. Aaron's smile returned. It was calm, steady, and unshakable. Kor realized that he had underestimated the human. Strength could be measured. Gravity could be balanced. But the human had something that no system could account for: experience, adaptation, and will. The fight that was meant to be equal had been shifted entirely by one small smile. Officials checked all systems again. Gravity balanced. Force readings normal. Everything indicated fairness. Yet fairness had not won the fight. The human had altered the match simply by being human. Kor struggled to rise, anger and awe mixing. He knew this fight was not over, but the lesson had been learned. Humans were not to be underestimated. And this one, Aaron, was extraordinary. The crowd watched, breathless, as the two fighters stood facing each other. One was large, strong, and angry. The other was small, calm, and smiling. The balance of the arena no longer mattered. The human had shown that no measure of strength, gravity, or control could predict the power of adaptation and understanding. Aaron took a deep breath, feeling the strain of the fight but remaining steady. Kor circled him, testing, analyzing, still searching for an opening. Every movement of the human was calculated, precise, and unyielding. The audience sensed that the next few moments could decide the fate of the match entirely. As Kor lunged again, Aaron prepared. This time he would show more than survival. He would show control. He would show the strength that comes not from muscles, but from a mind trained to adapt. And the galaxy watching would begin to understand that humans were more than they appeared. They were unpredictable, resilient, and capable of turning even balanced systems into an advantage. Aaron smiled faintly, ready for what came next. The arena trembled as Kor charged again, muscles coiled, eyes blazing with fury. He swung, trying to overwhelm the human with sheer force. But Aaron stood calmly, breathing evenly, eyes fixed on his opponent. Each movement he made was deliberate, precise, and controlled. He did not try to match Kor's strength. He used the alien's own force against him. Kor slammed the floor with both fists, sending vibrations through the arena. Dust floated in the air, sparks from the cracks in the stone shimmered for a moment. Aaron felt the shock, adjusted his stance, and rolled forward, landing lightly and unscathed. He moved with the skill of someone who had trained in chaos all his life, who had learned to survive impossible situations with nothing but his body and mind. The crowd was silent, holding its breath. No one had ever seen a human move like this. Some whispered to each other, astonished at the grace and power hidden in a body so small. Others leaned forward, eyes wide, unable to tear their gaze away. Kor roared and charged with renewed vigor. He swung, grabbed, and slammed. Every attack was heavy and dangerous, capable of ending the match instantly if it connected. But Aaron avoided, twisted, and struck. Each counter was small, almost understated, yet it forced Kor to stumble, to falter, to question his own strength. Aaron's mind worked quickly. He remembered his planet, where gravity shifted without warning, where storms could lift rocks from the ground, and children learned to fall safely. That training, though simple, had honed his instincts to perfection. He adapted to every strike, every movement of Kor, as if he had been expecting them all his life. Kor's attacks grew frantic. He tried to use his weight, his size, and his strength to overwhelm the human. He slammed the arena floor with both hands and feet, creating shockwaves meant to knock Aaron off balance. But the human did not falter. He moved with timing and precision, adjusting to each force, exploiting the smallest openings and striking with careful efficiency. Officials watched from above, panic rising in their voices. Gravity sensors were normal. Force readings were within limits. Nothing explained why the human moved with such speed and control. The balance that had been set for a fair fight was no longer in effect. Aaron had found a way to turn the system to his advantage without violating a single rule. Kor stumbled under a precise counterattack. Aaron had caught him off guard, using the alien's own momentum to make him fall forward. The crash shook the arena. The heavy fighter struggled to rise, his breathing labored, his pride wounded. He could not understand how such a small opponent had taken command of the match. Aaron stepped back, giving Kor space. He was calm, smiling faintly, eyes bright with understanding. He had not just survived the attacks. He had learned from them, adjusted, and used them to his benefit. Each movement displayed human resilience, patience, and intelligence. He was not just fighting. He was teaching the arena, the crowd, and Kor a lesson. The audience could sense the shift. This was no longer a battle of strength. It was a display of skill, control, and adaptation. The galaxy watching through screens was beginning to understand that humans were not to be underestimated. They could endure, adapt, and turn even the most balanced and dangerous situations into an advantage. Kor rose slowly, fury and respect mixing in his eyes. He lunged again, hoping to regain control. Aaron met him directly, stepping lightly, striking decisively, and twisting the alien's own momentum against him. Kor crashed to the arena floor again, heavy and stunned. The human did not press the attack. He waited calm, breathing evenly, ready for whatever came next. The crowd erupted. Shouts of awe, gasps of disbelief, and cheers of excitement filled the arena. Commentators repeated their astonishment, unable to grasp how the human moved with such effectiveness, using minimal force to dominate a creature born in heavy gravity. Millions across the galaxy watched, transfixed. Aaron's smile returned, calm and steady. Kor struggled to rise, each movement more labored than the last. He realized that raw strength alone could not overcome patience, adaptation, and intelligence. The human had turned every system, every rule, and every assumption against him, without violating a single one. The battle continued, Kor attacking with desperation, Aaron defending and countering with precision. Each clash shook the arena, sending fragments of stone and dust into the air. Sensors recorded incredible force, yet readings remained normal. The officials were at a loss. They had expected a fair fight. Instead, they were witnessing the power of human adaptation and will. Aaron stepped forward, landing another precise strike against Kor's side. The alien staggered and fell, sliding across the arena floor before coming to a stop. He struggled to rise again, breathing hard, eyes wide with the dawning realization that he was not fighting a typical opponent. He was facing something beyond measure. The human's movements were calm, measured, and confident. Each step, each strike, each dodge was deliberate. He had not just adapted to the alien's attacks. He had anticipated them, learned from them, and used them to his advantage. The crowd realized that this fight was no longer about strength. It was about intelligence, patience, and the human ability to endure and adapt. Kor charged once more, swinging with all his might. Aaron met him directly, twisted, and used Kor's own force to send him crashing to the ground. The arena trembled from the impact. The alien rose again, but slower, heavier, and more cautious. He had learned that brute strength alone could not win against a mind and body trained to adapt. The audience was captivated. Millions watched as a human demonstrated the true meaning of resilience. Each strike, each dodge, each smile was a lesson. Strength could be measured. Gravity could be balanced. But the human had shown that experience, adaptability, and intelligence could turn even the most equal system into an advantage. Aaron breathed deeply, feeling the strain but remaining steady. Kor circled him, searching for an opening but found none. The alien's attacks were slower now, less precise, and increasingly predictable. The human smile remained faint and calm, a symbol of quiet confidence. The match continued, not as a contest of raw power, but as a demonstration of what humans could achieve with patience, understanding, and adaptation. Every spectator in the arena and across the galaxy felt it. Humans were not weak. They were not simple. They were dangerous in ways no measurement could capture. Kor lunged again, desperate. Aaron stepped forward, striking with precision, twisting with skill, and using Kor's own strength against him. The alien fell, heavy and stunned. The human did not move to finish him. He stood, calm and composed, waiting for the next move. The arena shook with tension and awe. The human had dominated without relying on raw power. He had used control, understanding, and resilience to turn the fight entirely in his favor. The galaxy realized that humans could endure, adapt, and outthink any opponent. Aaron's smile remained, calm and steady, a quiet warning to all who watched. Strength and balance could be measured, but the human mind and will could not be limited. The arena had grown tense, electric with anticipation. Kor rose slowly, breathing heavily, muscles aching from repeated strikes, but determination still burning in his eyes. Aaron stood in the center, calm and composed, his small smile faint but unwavering. The audience, both in the arena and across the galaxy, leaned closer, sensing that the final moments of the match would decide more than a simple victory. Kor charged with desperation, swinging his fists with all the power he could muster. Each blow threatened to shake the arena floor. Dust floated through the air, and small fragments of stone danced briefly before falling. Aaron did not flinch. He moved with careful precision, sidestepping and twisting, absorbing the force without strain and positioning himself to counter. The human's movements were smooth and deliberate, like water flowing around a rock. The crowd gasped with every exchange. Commentators stammered, unable to put into words the display of skill and resilience before them. Kor's attacks were faster, heavier, and more aggressive than anything Aaron had faced so far, but each one was met with timing and understanding. He seemed to anticipate every strike, using Kor's own strength against him. It was a display of human adaptability that stunned even the most seasoned spectators. Kor roared, swinging a wide arm to end the fight. Aaron leaned back, letting the blow pass just above his shoulder. The sheer size and power of the swing caused him to stumble slightly, but he recovered quickly, rolling forward and striking Kor on the side. The impact made the alien stagger, and the arena vibrated with the force. Kor's eyes widened, disbelief etched across his face. This human was controlling him with a skill he had never encountered. The officials monitored every reading. Gravity sensors remained stable. Force outputs were within limits. There was no mechanical error, no hidden advantage. Yet the human moved faster, smarter, and more precisely than any system could explain. The balance that had been carefully maintained was shifting under the human's presence. It was no longer a fair fight. It was a human lesson in resilience and control. Kor tried to regain his rhythm. He used heavy stomps and swings, attempting to intimidate and overpower. Aaron absorbed, dodged, and countered, each movement minimal yet effective. Every attack Kor made was met with a subtle push, a twist, or a small strike, enough to disturb the alien's balance and maintain control of the fight. It was as if the human understood instinctively the weaknesses in brute force, and he exploited them with ease. The audience watched in awe. Millions of eyes across the galaxy could not believe what they were witnessing. Humans had always been underestimated, seen as weak compared to the heavy and strong species of the arena. Yet here was Aaron, using nothing but skill, intelligence, and adaptation to dominate a creature born in crushing gravity. The fight had transformed from a contest of strength to a showcase of human potential. Aaron felt the strain in his muscles, but he did not show it. His mind remained focused, his breathing even. Each dodge, each counter, each step was calculated. He remembered the lessons of his planet. To survive, one must adapt, endure, and understand the environment. He applied those lessons perfectly, turning every attack from Kor into an opportunity to learn and control. Kor lunged again, this time aiming to grab and slam the human to the ground. Aaron anticipated the move, shifted his weight, and twisted, using Kor's momentum to send him crashing to the floor. The arena shook with the impact. Kor struggled to rise, frustration and awe mixing in his eyes. He had underestimated the human's capacity for adaptation and control. Aaron did not press the attack immediately. He stepped back, allowing Kor to regain his stance. The crowd sensed the calm confidence emanating from the human. Each spectator felt the lesson that strength alone did not determine victory. Experience, intelligence, and adaptation could turn the tables against even the strongest adversary. Kor rose, breathing heavily, eyes darting as he tried to predict Aaron's next move. He swung wildly, hoping to catch the human off guard. Aaron anticipated, ducked, and struck with precision, catching Kor off balance once more. The alien faltered, his movements slower and more measured. He realized that he was no longer in control of the match. The final moments were approaching. Kor, though powerful, was exhausted from repeated attacks and counterattacks. His pride had been wounded, and his mind raced to find a way to reclaim dominance. Aaron's calm demeanor, small smile, and precise movements were overwhelming. Each strike from the human, though not strong by brute standards, carried efficiency and purpose. Each dodge preserved energy while exploiting openings in Kor's defense. The crowd erupted into noise, cheering, gasping, and whispering. The spectators recognized that this was not just a fight. It was a demonstration of human resilience, skill, and understanding. The galaxy began to grasp that humans could survive and adapt in ways that no system, no balance, and no strength alone could predict. Aaron stepped forward, striking again with careful precision, using Kor's own force to throw him off balance. Kor stumbled and fell, heavy and stunned. He struggled to rise, panting and shaken. Aaron stood ready, calm and composed, giving space to his opponent, showing restraint and control. His small smile returned, calm and steady, unshakable. The arena trembled as Kor rose for one last desperate charge. Aaron met him directly, twisting and striking with precision, turning the alien's strength against him once more. Kor crashed to the arena floor, exhausted and humbled. The human did not move to finish him. Instead, he stood quietly composed, a living demonstration of patience, skill, and restraint. The crowd erupted, their cheers echoing through the arena and into the galaxy. Millions watched in awe, commentators repeating in disbelief what they had just seen. The human had not only survived, but had dominated without relying on raw power or cheating. He had used control, understanding, and adaptability to take command of the fight, transforming it from a test of balance into a demonstration of human capability. Aaron smiled faintly, calm and steady. Kor lay on the floor, breathing heavily, eyes wide with understanding. The alien had learned a valuable lesson. Strength alone could not win against a mind and body trained to adapt and endure. Humans were unpredictable, resilient, and capable of turning any system into an advantage. As the arena settled, officials checked all systems once more. Gravity remained balanced. Force readings were normal. Everything indicated fairness. Yet the human had shown that fairness alone did not dictate victory. Experience, intelligence, and resilience had rewritten the outcome. The match ended with Aaron standing in the center, calm and composed, smiling faintly. Kor, humbled and exhausted, lay on the ground, acknowledging the human skill and adaptability. The galaxy had witnessed more than a fight. It had witnessed the rise of human resilience, a quiet warning that strength could be measured, balance could be calculated, but the human mind and will were beyond prediction. The broadcast replayed Aaron's faint smile, his calm movements, and the alien's struggle. Across worlds, spectators and leaders understood the message. Humans were more than they seemed. They could endure, adapt, and overcome, even when faced with creatures of immense strength. Aaron had not just won a fight. He had demonstrated that humans could challenge, survive, and dominate beyond expectation. And that smile, simple and small, would be remembered as the symbol of human potential across the galaxy.